Alright guys, name is Tyler aka Nanogenix, and today we have all the info for the brand new Super Dragon Ball Heroes cards here on the JP side of Dokkan Battle. We also have a bunch of event news, all of that. So before I actually hop in, I just want to give a few shout outs just to go ahead and start this video off. The super attacks we'll be looking at are courtesy of my FGC. A link to his Twitter will be down below. The translations for the cards are courtesy of Garesh. A link to the post that he is on will be down below over on the Dokkan subreddit. And then last but not least, a shout out to Dokkan Info. A link to their Twitter will be down below as well, because that's where a lot of this info came from that even got translated to begin with. And honestly, just because we use it so much and it's such a big sort of useful thing for the entire community, I'll leave a link to DBZ.space down below as well. So let's go ahead. Let's just get started. I know that all this broke while I was asleep, but I still want to cover it. I still want to talk about it. Everything right here is awesome. These cards are way better than I think any of us could have expected them to be, and their super attacks are actually, my sights was maybe set a little, just a little bit high for these super attacks, just because of how well they've been doing all these. And these are heroes cards. These are like just run with it, make cool things with these cards. So I feel like I had my expectations set up here and they met them at least, right? At least. So let's go ahead. Let's actually hop in. Let's start talking about all of these cards. So the first one up is the Zeno SSJ3 Goku. He is leader ability, super STR type key, +3 HP attack, defense +70%. It's not terrible. I mean, basically Omega, but only Omega, the old school Omega Shenron, but only for Super STR. But that's not where he shines. This is where it gets interesting. Super attack is instant transmission Kamehameha, causes immense damage with a medium chance to stun the enemy. That's not so much important just because so many things can't be stunned anymore these days. Here's where it gets cool. Passive ability is Super Warrior's Determination, attack and defense +80%, guard activated against all attacks, and further attack +30% when launching super attack. That is really good. Not to mention, this guy obviously is SSJ3 and can absolutely, right now, I feel like once he releases, go on an SSJ3 team and be like, at least, if not the absolute top tier, be like right there. And honestly, because he has that guard activated against all attacks and actually has that built-in defense +80%, I feel like he could just literally slide into a spot on there immediately, because it's going to offer you still decent attack outputs. That team is so like attack heavy anyway, but also give you a decent sort of defense boost as well. Links to this guy are Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Saiyan Lineage, Kamehameha, Over in a Flash, and Limit Breaking Form. Fits into SSJ3 and Pure Saiyans. These guys, if they ever get a Dokkan Awaken, are going to be pretty ridiculous, because if you didn't notice, he is an SSR, and right out of the gates has immense damage, has the immense damage modifier. So this Goku is great. I'm so ready to get these guys and actually use them on a team. So then we move on to the Zeno SSJ3 Vegeta. He is Super Fist type key, +3 HP attack, defense +70%. Super attack on this guy, looking pretty good, not gonna lie. Not the SSJ3 Goku one has some amazing camera angles. The SSJ3 Goku one looks great too, but this Vegeta one, man, it's looking a little good. Atomic Flash causes immense damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense. Passive on him is Self-Rousing Prince. Attack and defense +80%. Further, attack +50% when performing a super attack, and he disables the enemy's guard. Dude. Not to mention, again, this is one of those sort of stacking. This is one of those stacking passives. So that attack and 80% is already there, and then it does an additional 50% whenever he launches a super attack. Links to this guy are Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Royal Lineage, Prodigies, Over in a Flash. Yes, they gave our man SSJ3 Zeno Vegeta Over in a Flash and Limit Breaking Form. Categories on this guy are, again, SSJ3 and Pure Saiyans, and yet another sort of contender to be on your SSJ3 team right here, right now. The fact that they do have this attack and defense +80% built into them, and they're doing that with a lot of units these days, is solid, man. It actually really helps me once you start getting into a team that's getting, you know, 130%, 170%, whatever it might be to their defense, and you add that in, like, you start being able to tank pretty friggin' well. And so it's nice, and I can only imagine what all you are going to be able to see from this guy. I'm legitimately excited about these guys. I really am. Now, the one that surprised me the most, legitimately surprised me the most, this might be maybe the card with my favorite super attack from this particular set of units. Not even playing. Supreme Kai of Time. Leader ability on her. Super Tech type key +3, HP attack defense +70%. Are you guys noticing a sort of pattern here? Super attack is Judgment of Time. Causes supreme damage to enemy and seals super attack. And that super attack is beautiful. Like, I love it. I don't know why I do so much, but it's just so different and it looks so cool. It looks so friggin' cool. Again, the camera angle changes on Vegeta and on Goku are great. There are some other sort of ones here that I do enjoy as well, but I think hers is my absolute favorite of all of these heroes cards right now. It looks so good. Passive on her though is where she gets incredibly interesting. Divine Power. All allies key +2, attack and defense +20%, and critical hit chance +7%. What? Are you kidding me? Furthermore, great chance of all allies additional attack +20% and defense +20%. The additional 20% attack and defense seems like they have separate great proc chances, so one might proc while the other might not. Links on her are Master of Magic, Rival Duo, More Than Meets the Eye, Cold Judgment, Telekinesis, and Godly Power, and she fits on too Batara and Realm of Gods. So ROG and Batara just got a pretty solid buff in the form of another great support unit for both of them. She is awesome. I'm not gonna lie, she's one of my absolute top tier ones that I'm going to be gunning for when this does launch, which the banner we're gonna talk about in a second, but the banner does go live late tonight. Then we have the Super Amira, who I think maybe has the weakest super attack of them all, but leader ability on him is Extreme STR type key +3, HP attack defense +70%. Super attack is Android Kick. Greatly lowers his defense and causes supreme damage to the enemy. Then passive on him is Stinging Bloodlust, own attack +100%, attack enemies attack and defense -20% for 2 turns, and disables the enemy's guards. Guard. Links on him are Android, Demon Duo, Berserker, Tough as Nails, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, and he fits into the androids category. Yeah, I think Super Mira might be the weakest of the bunch when it comes to his actual super attack, and also possibly maybe the weakest of the bunch when it comes to the actual overall cards too, just because he really has no defense going on. He doesn't have any sort of crazy attack boost or anything like that. So I think and he also causes supreme damage. So I think he might be the weakest of the bunch here, but let's continue moving on. We have Demigra Enhanced Demon Form. Extreme Fizz type key +3, HP attack defense +70% on his leader ability. Super attack is Boiling Fist. Greatly raises attack for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to enemy. Actually a pretty cool looking super attack, I'm not gonna lie. I know you might be sitting there going like, well, it's kind of similar to the Mira one. I don't know, something about it just does look better to me. Then on him, his passive is Dark Ambition, own attack +120%, and extreme class allies key +3, all enemies attack and defense -20%. So he is actually not that bad of a unit to run on his categories. Of course, you could also run him on Extreme Fist too. But his links are Master of Magic, Demon Duo, I said Realm Duo, Demon Duo, Brainiac's Revival, Fear and Faith, and Godly Power. He fits into Resurrected Warriors and Realm of Gods. But yeah, I feel like this unit right here easily right now with his extreme class key +3 and all enemies attack defense -20% easily right now fit on Resurrected Warriors. Maybe not Realm of Gods, but absolutely could fit on Resurrected Warriors, because the fact that he's already giving you key +3, it doesn't matter that much that his links are just kind of whatever, but he does still have Fear and Faith too. So like, not bad, not bad. Then we have the Dark Masked King, which is, of course, King, it's King Vegeta. Well, I guess we don't fully, no, they reveal it, Extreme Int type key +3, HP attack defense +70%. Super attack on him is Dark King's Flash, causes immense damage to enemy and lowers attack and defense. Passive is Brainwashing of the Dark Mask, own attack and defense +80%, and after receiving an attack, additional defense +70% for 4 turns, and recover 10% of damage as HP. Recovering damage as HP does not seem conditional upon being attacked, but it is fairly vague. That is Gresh adding his own notes there. But either way, that's actually pretty solid. Links on him are Saiyan Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race, Royal Lineage, Loyalty, Berserker, and he actually has PFB, and he fits onto, of course, Pure Saiyans. So this guy's passive is actually pretty solid. I mean, he's going to, because that additional defense +70% once he gets attacked, like that's going to stack on top of the already defense +80% that he has. So he's going to be tanking stuff like really, really well. Like, you're going to see him taking like double digit damage like all the time. Plus, he's actually he's a really cool looking card. Like, let's just be honest. He's like a really, really cool looking card. Then coming down to the final one of the Heroes crossover characters is the Black Masked Saiyan, which leader ability on him is Extreme AGL type key +3, HP attack defense +70%. Super attack is Dark Final Flash. Causes immense damage to enemy and lowers attack and defense. Again, I don't think any of us fully expected these guys to be as good as they are. Passive on this guy is Thirst for Strength. Attack and defense plus 90% when key is 6 or more. So no matter what, as long as you're running this guy on a mono Extreme AGL team, if you're running him on, you know, like pure Saiyans, he's gonna have key +3. So his passive is absolutely going to be there. So anyway, attack and defense plus 90% when key is 6 or more. An additional attack defense plus 30% when key is 8 or more. Which in this day and age, especially once we get down and start talking about his links, like, he's probably always going to have at least 8 key. And then own key +2 when key is 10 or more. So no matter what, if you can get this guy to 10 key, he's going to always get off a super attack. That's pretty much where this is at. And he's going to always have that attack and defense plus 90% and an additional attack and defense plus 30%. So I feel like this guy's going to be pretty ridiculous. He fits onto Saiyan lineage, Saiyan warrior race, royal lineage, prodigies, berserker, and PFB. He fits onto the pure Saiyans category. I'm pretty excited for the Vegeta card. Sorry, I guess it's the Black Masked Saiyan. But I'm excited for the Vegeta cards. Not even playing. Then we have the brand new free-to-play Team Gohan and Videl. Leader ability on them are Majin Buu Saga category, key +3, HP attack defense plus 50%. They're from the new story event that is releasing. We're going to talk about in just a second. Super attack is Evildoers Are Unforgivable. Raises attack for 6 turns and causes supreme damage to enemy. Passive is New Power and a New Ally. Own attack plus 100%, but attack -7% at a cap of -35% for every turn that passes. High chance to perform up to 2 additional attacks that have a chance to be super attacks. Links on them are Hero of Justice, Infighter, Cold Judgment, Rival Duo, Supreme Power, Shouting Limit, and categories are Majin Buu Saga. And that is all. A lot of stuff right there to cover, but that is all of the brand new cards. Way more cards. This is the most cards at one time they've ever launched from the Super Dragon Ball Heroes crossover events into the game. Hoping that means something, okay? I'm hoping that means something. So let's hop over into the actual game. So right now, this is the brand new Super Dragon Ball Heroes festival type campaign that they are doing. As you can see there, that is like literally a screen cap from his actual super tech. Like, that's pretty much almost spot on what's going on there. This right here, number 1, is a login bonus. Again, it's a pretty, they're login bonuses for anything that's not like something super hype, like hopefully what they'll do for probably the Broly crossover event, hopefully for what they do for obviously year 4 and stuff like that, are pretty standard as to what to expect. There are some pretty decent missions in here though. We'll take a look at those in just a moment. This is the new banner. It's launching on the 21st at 5 p.m. in Japan, so that is around midnight Pacific, if I'm not mistaken. Then number 4 is the brand new story event where you're going to be able to get that Gohan and Videl that I was just talking about. Number 5 is the Raditz event is coming back, which there are some missions tied to defeating a specific amount of enemies. The new EZA, which we are, unless they do a bunch of side ones, we are so close to them finally doing Janemba and or Super Gogeta, the STR Super Gogeta. It's not even funny. So on this guy, just really briefly, his EZA, again, this is another shout out to Goresh, is he's going to get leader ability, STR type key +3, HP attack defense plus 90%, so he's just a flat at STR. Super attack becomes causes miss damage to enemy with a high chance to stun. Passive changes to reduce damage taken by 80% for 10 turns. For 10 turns instead of just 7 from start of battle. And when the target enemy is in a stun status, own attack plus 120%. So that's not bad for something like Super Battle Road, but given the fact that so many Dokkan Festival fights can't be stunned, you won't ever get that own attack plus 120%. But the fact that it does, some of these fights have started taking maybe a little bit longer. The fact that it does give you 10 turns instead of 7 is not a bad thing at all. So also on top of this though, the old school tech SSJ through Vegeta is also getting an Extreme Z Awaken and becomes all types key +3, HP attack defense plus 40%. Super attack is Final Flash, causes supreme damage to enemy and lowers attack, and passive is Fatal Stance, attack plus 90% at the start of turn, own key +2, and defense plus 120% when key is 10 or more. So that one's, they're okay. They're definitely underwhelming. In terms of EZAs on like main sort of characters, those two, which the Tech SSJ through Vegeta is not like a main character, not like the STR one, but those two are definitely a little underwhelming as opposed to what we've seen in the past. They almost should have done him way earlier, so that way we didn't have these sort of higher expectations for these easy A's, and then they launch these easy A's that are like this. You're kind of like, don't get me wrong, the whole point of this unit right here is to be a ridiculous tank, and he is still a very good tank, but it's just like they almost should have just completely removed his turn limit or made it something just insane, even more than 10. Not that it takes like really 10 turns anymore to defeat an event, but still, just saying, they almost should have given him something even crazier on the side of tanking if they weren't going to give him anything really much extra in terms of doing a lot of damage. That's all I'm saying. This one, super underwhelming as opposed to like Kid Buu and stuff like that. Then, and of course Beerus. Then down here, again, more just like missions and type stuff like that. And we've got a new banner going live for the actual EZA, which the SSJ3. That's why this banner's live right here. SSJ3 is going to be your key to beating it. SSJ3, or of course you can take Extreme AGL to hop in there and beat it. And that is the Dragon Ball Heroes crossover campaign. That is all the new Dragon Ball Heroes cards with all of their super text and everything else. Guys, if you're new to the channel, you enjoyed today's video. I know it's a little bit long, but there's so much to cover. Consider going down there, hitting that subscribe button, and joining the hashtag NanoFam today. Consider slapping that like button as well. Guys, have a great day. Keep on keeping on. Nanogenix set off, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.